In this class, we'll look at two more concepts under retail stock management: retail inventory management and retail management information systems. When we talk about retail inventory management, we're talking about the entire process and methods that is used to keep a track of the stock in the retail business. Now, stock is one of the most important parameters for retail business. The worst scenario that any retail business can go through is being out of stock. Being out of stock means not being able to sell a product, and that means a loss of the business. So, inventory handling is a very complex process and requires every system that is in place to be up to date. These methods, what are the methods that are used, and there are different types of methods and processes which are used by different players, whether large players or smaller players. Different players use different types of process and methods, and it will vary from uh, retail to retail. When I say retail to retail, the types of retailing as well as the large or small scale retailers. They cover everything right from the ordering, shipping, receiving, tracking inventory, retail turnover, and storage. The entire process, when we talk about the supply chain process, we look at the entire process right from the supplier till the point where it reaches the point of sale terminal where it reaches a sale. The entire process is tracked, and we have inventory tracking right from raw materials to till the material or the finished goods which is sold at the retail shop. The retail inventory management help keep a business's profits at a steady margin as well as reducing theft and loss of inventory. Now, theft and loss of inventory is actually uh, for a non technology based tracking based inventory system. You go through a lot of theft, and theft is very common at certain checkpoints. If not from the warehouse, if not stealing from the warehouse, but it happens even at the point of docking, where you get all these products imported, and you will have a lot of products which may not reach the store. Products would have been uh, supplied by the vendor, but it has not reached the buyer. Not all have reached the buyer. There's a few items which are missing. And generally, it happens when it comes to shipping, because at the port there's a lot of this mafia that works in, which actually takes products and sells it in the black market. A lot of those things happen when you're a large player, not when you're a smaller player. But it's easy to. It's more like this. If somebody is earning 100 rupees, if 10 rupees is taken from 100 rupees, you feel like something is missing. But if you're earning 1 crore and if I take around 1,000 from that 1 crore, it's not a big amount for you, because you don't. It's unnoticeable. And if you talk of multi crores of businesses, a lot of money goes off in theft, and that's a big loss of inventory. So moving ahead, the functions of retail inventory management. The primary function is definitely to track and manage all of the inventory for the business to ensure that there's always stock at the warehouse as well as at the retail store. Keep up with the store markdowns. Remember, I explained you the concept of markup as well as markup. We had seen the concept of markup when we had spoken about uh, how the stores are making profit using what do I say? As a profit margin, they keep a markup price. That profit margin is through a markup of the pricing. Now, markdown is a little different. It's basically a reduction of the original price in order to increase the sales, and that is done generally when, and that decision again is done based on looking up with the what is available at the store, and based on whether there's too much, when you have when you have too much in the inventory, and you want your inventory to move out, you want space for the new products to be coming in, that's when you have something like a clearance sale. And this clearance sale generally goes off with a markdown. So you need to ensure that there is a, and this is a very common process in retail. Markups and markdowns is a very common thing which is tracked even by the management to see what, how much of products with what markup have they been sold and what markdown have they been sold. Evaluate how well some group of products do in sales. So inventory also helps you go down, management also helps you to go down to the level of product information. You at the end of the day you get to see how many products under my brand. HUL has a lot of products. Okay, it gets to understand that what are the products which are more fast moving, which are actually, so how many of which are the brands which are actually more in inventory and which are more moving. You get to understand the demand in an area. Of course, you do market research in advance and you push the products in the market based on your market research, based on the demand. But the reality is based on sales. So the end of the day, based on sales, and you have to look at your sales, you have to look at what products have been sold as well as what is tied to inventory as to how much is remaining in inventory. All of that product kind of analysis or a product basket analysis is done based on inventory levels also. Provides analysis for comparison shopping with competitors. Yes, this also helps you understanding inventory levels with competitors. Though you will not be able to understand what is the inventory level of the competitor, but effective handling of your inventory helps you be able to compete and compare as well as far as your product to market availability. Collect data on the sales and inventory of individual stores using the store keeping unit. And this is common. You do based on the sales product which is moved out of the store, you get to understand how much is sold and how much is lying in at the inventory. There are certain metrics, though we're not going to go to that depth of looking at the metrics which are used in handling inventory, but I'll just mention some of them to you from my practical experience in tracking retail metrics. There are certain metrics like beginning inventory as well as ending inventory. So, inventory on hand, inventory on order. So, what does it mean the inventory on order? What is the inventory on hand? On hand is what is there right now. What has been the beginning inventory at the start of a month? What is the ending inventory at the end of the month? So these are metrics which are tracked along with besides sales, besides revenue of a product, besides units of a product, besides profit margin. All of these are tracked under one dashboard, one report. And managers actually like to look at it, whether it's store managers, senior managers, merchandise managers. If you are able to recollect what I mean by merchandise, there's a separate merchandising department, store department. I explained to you right in the first class what are the departments which are involved in a retail business. So allows the next point allows you to accurately review your inventory. You can do periodic inventory reviews. Now again, this is based on what kind of product you're selling. If you are like a shoe product, garment product, or fashion industry, or cosmetic industry, anything like that, you won't do review as often. But you will do a review as far as if you're a grocery store. Reviews are going to happen quite quickly. You need to do a. There's going to be daily inventory. There's going to be a daily inventory report that keeps moving out and weekly report, and then there will be a monthly report. A daily report may not be a report as far as inventory is concerned when it comes to maybe slow moving products, maybe durables. You may not have durables moving out at a pace at which grocery items or FMCG items will move out. Further going ahead in terms of the functions of retail of inventory management, proper recording is very important. There were the earlier days where recording used to happen on pen and paper. Physical inspections and recording. So you go to the warehouse, a person would go with a full sheet and he would actually look at what is the stock right now available and he will make an entire tracking. He will write on the notepad. There will be a tracking sheet and then the tracking sheet has to have a check mark beside it. What is the quantity available and these sheets are passed around. So and now recording has moved on to the systems. systems record, even if it's a moved on system, still there are certain places where manual is moved later on to added to the system. Now there are computerized ways of fully automated ways of tracking inventory now, which we'll look at later. We'll look at the further slides. So the physical inspection, proper recording, review sales reports weekly. You have to look at the sales reports in order to understand what is my inventory levels, and to cross compare. Research, do the right research helps in finding out research for the right products to sell. I've already explained this point earlier as well, how that is tied to the research as far as your inventory handling is concerned. Give me a minute. Okay. And delegation to smaller groups departments. So now inventory, because it is a very complex process, you cannot only look at inventory at a warehouse level. You also move it down to a smaller department level. Inventory at stores, inventory at a within a store there are multiple departments. Then inventory within the department. So everything has to be tracked. So the track when you decentralize inventory, it becomes easy to track. Of course, updating becomes a little difficult because decentralized departments means you need to have updates coming from every one of them at regular intervals so that you can keep your inventory updated. You can keep your stock updated. Okay. Okay. And then the next one is prevention of loss and theft. I already mentioned this earlier. How loss and theft is something which is very common. In places where the goods come through different routes, say rails or shipping, and whichever means of transport you use, or air cargo, as well as being able to reach the store and passing through all the levels of distribution centers and warehouses right down to the store. Inventory tracking at each of these levels is quite important to prevent loss and theft. So inventory management, though as a concept we are looking at it here, it is something you can study as a separate subject. Supply chain management is a subject in which inventory is one of the components. You have logistics is a component. The entire process in itself is a component, and so here is just only a concept for you. So your level is enough for you to understand the concept, to know what inventory is and what are the levels of inventory. Now we look at the systems that are used. There are more systems. These are some, for example, for your understanding. The point of sales terminals. Very simple. You understand that whatever is moved out, you automatically gets updated to understand whatever needs to come in. So if you have enough moving out of the shelves, you think of a physical store, and think of my very favorite example is always that of biscuits. So if I look at say Marie biscuits and Vita Marie Gold is actually going out of stock, it has already sold. I had say 50 in stock for the store, and 45 have been sold out, which I get to know from my point of sale terminal. I know 5 are remaining, so automatically I need to refresh, or in retail terms replenish. So I need to replenish my stock. I need to get 45 more items and stock it back, because Vita Marie Gold is a moving product which I know tomorrow also they'll be same, the day after also they'll be same. So I need to restock it. At any point in time, I want Vita Marie Gold to be 50 in my store. I want 50 as my inventory level at my store. 45 have moved out. I get to know from my point of sale terminal, and that I need to update. It needs to get updated back to the warehouse. And if I'm getting it from the warehouse, in warehouse people will get to know, yes, 45 has to come out of the store and move in the next batch, not immediately, in the next batch. Before the day ends, in the next batch, I need to move out for this particular store, X store, these 45 Vita Marie Gold to be replenished, to be restocked, to be refreshed, so that the next day inventory level is 50. So, and if more is required, if 50 gets sold out, or the demand is increasing in that area, you will move up your inventory level. So all of these decisions you take accordingly. Job costing and inventory systems. Another automatic system that updates computerized levels of inventory. Now, job costing. Job costing is a technique which is not used in all kinds of retail products. You look at these big types of products. Let's look at airliners and uh, airline parts or not mobile, automobile machine parts. Where that's a job costing is used a lot. To give you an idea of what job costing is, if you, in your, I don't know if you have in your management accounting the concept of job costing. I think you should be learning it there. But the entire, just to give you an idea of what a job costing for a product, for a job or a product would look like. Say a customer has purchased customer Dinah Sanchez has description: a cherry wood dining room table with mahogany trim, sorry, has been purchased on May 3rd. So you look at what are the elements that would go into a job cost. You look at the raw materials, the direct labor, and the manufacturing overhead, which would all comprise, which would all be clubbed together as part of the total cost. And this would then look at, you look at this, and then you look at your work. This would then go as an input to the work in inventory, sorry, work in progress inventory, WIP inventory is what it would go for. And based on that, you will actually get to finally you look at the cost of goods sold. Okay, so you have a total inventory, you have a work in progress inventory, and then you have this job cost sheet, and then you understand the cost of goods sold. So all of this actually is also kind of contributing to your product information. But this is not a technique we use in day-to-day small-scale products or moving products. These are like really high-value premium products, which are certain techniques like this are used. Okay, because when it comes to direct labor, you measure it based on. I won't go into details because this then become a management accounting class for you. But at the for idea for you to understand is there are different systems, different techniques used. There are other systems, or I would say systems bar techniques used. Job costing is one of them. Then barcodes and readers, different types of barcode readers, which easily is able to go down to the level of a storekeeping unit or SKU and track the product information. And an SKU or a barcode has many information about the product. It has the product name, the product code, the product description, the color of the product, the size of the product, anything. All the attributes of a product is stored as part of your barcode. And you have barcode scanners. Barcode scanners, you have different RFIDs. I had given you all an assignment to look at trends in retailing. In the trends in retailing, I happened to see some of you all had written about RFIDs and different uh, two techniques that I use these days, and even more higher level techniques to be able to track inventory. Electronic supply product catalogs. This system can update inventory levels automatically through the internet or media list. Basically, uh, this is updation from a vendor side, from a supplier side. In fact, it can work the reverse way. I don't need to, a buyer need not actually have to tell what I'm missing. But if you have a good interface between the buyer as well as the vendor, which is a concept we will look at it when we come to the next topic for this class, which is retail management information systems. Right now we talk about inventory management, and that also is tied because retail management information management, so retail marketing information system or retail management information systems is also tied here because you have an MIS system inside, or you also have something like an EDI, electronic data interchange, uh, wherein you have a interface of information moving between the vendor as well as the supplier. So the vendor who's supplying the products would know what is missing at this particular buyer's inventory. He will immediately send the product even before you what you say try to request for the product. So this kind of updation to the supplier, going a level, going an extra level, helps in automatically refreshing the inventory or the stock. And that can happen these days, of course, it's happening via the internet, but there's also another form which can happen via the intranet or the local area network or the wide area network. There are different forms which we'll see further. Okay, we've done this. Vendor management inventory. This is basically what I was talking about, where you have inventory which is automatically tied to the vendor. You have the goods which are delivered. The image itself would explain to you what is happening, and whenever there is If the shop requires goods, the vendor itself is supplied automatically, and he undertakes the inventory management for the store. So, also called as a quick response inventory system, where the replenishment is automatically triggered and supply decisions are made by the vendor supply on behalf of the buyer. Because this helps the buyer because he need not have to have a system in place. Automatic, I mean, there is a system in place for vendor track system. This is more like the manufacturer or the vendor going a step extra. He's giving you that service. He may of course charge you for that service premium or something like that, but it also ensures that you're a store who's always having the products, and definitely the consumers will come to your store because they say that store is never out of stock. I go to buy milk, it's not like milk is out of stock. I go to buy egg is out of stock. Bread is out of stock. That's not going to happen because I know these are things which are automatically updated. You don't need extra personnel also for that. If you have an automated system, you need not have more sales personnel to sit and take a sheet and measure it. Of course, there are some shops or some superstores which still do that. And that slide was the last slide as far as the inventory management topic was concerned. If you wish to read further, you can always read further, and if you wish to know more, I can always supply links to you as far as inventory management is concerned. But I don't want to go into measurement of the inventory management because at a practical level, it's all about the metrics. What metrics are used to measure, and what metrics are measured, and based on those metrics, how do I update my systems? The next concept is on the retail management information systems. The topic itself will give you an understanding. We had this subject, okay, but it was taken out as of my university. It's still there in some syllabuses. Not so much important as of now, but it is widely used as MIS systems, the management information systems. And here we're talking about the retail MIS systems. MIS system by the term itself gives you an idea. It is nothing but technology enabled systems which are used in retail for improvement of retail processes. Simple as that. So it could be include the use of hardware, software, and procedures to manage activities such as planning, inventory control, financial management, logistics, and point of sale transactions. Now, technology enablement of technology across all areas. Okay, not just for planning, for the transaction part, logistics part, even for financial tracking, billing. Information technology is definitely one of the greatest enablers of collaboration between the vendor and retailer. We saw an example of how vendor management inventory is one of the ways where vendor and retailer can communicate. You look at Walmart, largest company in the world with more than 2,700 stores, and this is the past statistics, not the current statistics. Definitely, they are increasing in number, and nearly $217 billion in revenue. And I say last year, this was the statistics 2 years back. Okay, so when I say last year, I should be very specific there. I should have mentioned revenue 2017. Okay. It gets a major competitive advantage from the efficiency of its electronic product information, ordering, supply chain management, and delivery systems. Their systems are automated, completely automated, or more than automated, I would say it is completely computerized. May not be fully automated, but computerized system. So they need it because they need to track huge number of stores, huge number of revenues, a lot of products, and they need to track at every stage. Computers have replaced cash registers for billing everywhere. And people are even learning tallies almost everywhere into all systems. And it's not tally, there are certain custom provided softwares which are being given by different startups or different superstores. The barcoded products using UPC and EDI. EDI is nothing but electronic data interchange, and UPC is your universal product code, which is like a barcode, but it varies. The product codes will vary from nation to nation. Certain nations will have a particular product code format: European product code format, Indian product code format, US product code format, uh, and that product code format and what gets stored inside it also varies. But essentially, it has all the attributes of a product stored in there, which you use it when you bill. The use of technology helps in data collection, and data is the fuel for driving any business and also the retail business. So the more the data you collect, not just about the product, also about the sales, about everything that's happening in the entire process, helps in understanding also the consumer. Understanding what products move out in a particular area, the demand of that area also helps in understanding the consumer. And these days, all retail stores have gone the next level. The electronic stores go to the level of tracking consumer behavior, understanding even our information. What do I do other than just shopping? Other than shopping, what else do I do? And based on that, an entire consumer profile is built, and based on the consumer profile, based on the consumer persona, the entire based on my particular persona, I will be recommended products that I wish to choose, or I may want to choose. Not I wish to choose, I may wish to choose. And that's moving to the next level of retail, which is the AI in retail, artificial intelligence in retail, and many stores are experimenting with virtual reality in retail, augmented reality in retail. So if I talk about retail management information systems at the next level, is that I say next level, sitting where I am and where we all are sitting in India, but it is already the current level when we're talking about countries like Japan and South Korea, Asian countries, they are far more ahead than the European as well as the US counterparts. Data collection helps to understand many parameters like consumer behavior, bill settlement, logistics, product improvement. All the inputs goes into each of the different systems or different people, different authorities who would take decisions for each of the different systems that are part of the retail, what do you say, retail world or retail cycle. The systems in RMIS, some systems in RMIS, again an IT system, I'll always put an etc there because these are building systems and they keep building. They're scalable. When you talk IT, you talk technology, you always talk in terms of scalability. You never say these are the only systems, these are the systems as far as this slide is concerned, and more. MIS, which is a marketing information system, don't get confused. RMIS is retail management information systems, but when you're saying MIS, this MIS is specific to marketing information systems or marketing intelligence systems. The other term uses intelligence systems because these systems provide information about all the marketing information, consumer information, marketing product information, research about an area. All of that is dumped into a marketing database. Internal data, not information, sorry, internal data. Uh, I'll rephrase my entire sentence which I said earlier. All the data, the internal data, the marketing data, the consumer data, the what is it I mentioned, the product data and the research data, the external data, data from other systems, data from government sources, data from other financial sources, all of that data is dumped into a marketing database from where this valuable information is extracted. And that's nothing but the entire marketing information system. Valuable information which will help in the betterment of a product and in helping the understanding the consumer better, help in providing and help in understanding the market better. RFIDs are what are used to understand the product, scanning the barcode and all of that, and that has helped in tracking, better tracking of your SKUs or SKUs. Networking is based on whether you are using the internet or using the local area network or using a wide area network. And LAN, WAN, MAN, whether you're using a metropolitan area network, you are only operating between different metros, and the network is metropolitan area network, even more bigger than a wide area network. Example for your understanding how a tracker is an example from Walmart, how Walmart's electronic product code system works. Suppliers add RFID sensors to jeans at the point of manufacture. Radio frequency IDs. This is nothing but one of the examples of a RFID device is used at Walmart. And the sensors are placed on removable labels such as the ones which are stapled on jeans. Let's think of any jeans right now, and I'm taking this example. Any jeans that you have bought, you have seen this kind of a tag attached to it. Workers, they scan the garment, electronic readers, and build a database using all the sizes and custom fits available Step 3, workers scan the stacks of jeans to discover which sizes are sold out and need to be replenished. Point 4, customers who purchase the jeans take the sensors home, but when they leave the store, they throw them in the trash. That's what we all do because we don't want to wear the jeans along with the tag on it. If we either throw it in the trash can or we keep it if we want to replace the jeans. Now, now you see there point 3 below. That's very important. The electronic reader instantly tells whether the sizes are still available in the back of the store or where they sit. This is like a automatic updation. The moment you take it out, it automatically tells whether the size is there, another size availability. If I have taken, I have 5 large sizes on my shelf, and I have taken one large size from the shelf, there's 4 remaining. The shelf also has a reader. That shelf will read all that and tell me there are 4 in the shelf, which automatically gets an update to the warehouse and sees if there's a large size availability in the store or in the retail store. Retail stores warehouse. Sorry. Retail stores uh, stock warehouse, not the main warehouse. And you go to that, and the salesperson will go there and get that one jeans and stock it up again. There was this 5, one has gone out, already been purchased. So automatic updation is happening. Of course, automatic the jeans won't come flying away and get back and be stocked. It may happen. There might be drones which are used in the future. You don't have salesperson. There'll be a drone which is waiting above the store automatically. Once you have a jeans missing from that store, not missing, has been sold, you'll have the drone which automatically goes to the warehouse, picks up the jeans and automatically comes and places it there. You have a Vita Marie Gold biscuit that is going out. My early example which I said, 50 Vita Marie Golds are there, 45 got sold out, 5 is remaining on the shelf. The drone will automatically go pick up 45 from the warehouse, the store warehouse, and automatically bring it and stock it there or dump it there. It may not, I don't know if warehouse will go to the drone will just bring it, the salesperson will take it and automatically stack it up nicely. Electronic data interchange, for this is for your understanding how EDI works, not compulsion for you to know what EDI is. You may not get a question like what EDI is, but you definitely may get a question on what RMIS is because it's all concepts. You need to understand what RMIS on a complete overall picture is. So it's a computer to computer exchange of business documents between retailer and vendor, much more like the vendor management information systems. And you get to understand the receipt of merchandise, invoices for payment. You get to understand the merchandise sales, inventory on hand. Remember, I told you what inventory on hand. Like one of these is one of the metrics. The inventory on order, advance shipping notices, document that tells the distribution center what specifically is being shipped and when it will be delivered. Again, the shipping notice, right? When you talk about shipping, at point 2, from a shipping perspective, there are a lot more metrics. Bill of lading, there's something where the shipment has received at dock, shipment at warehouse, and bill of lading, the invoice received. There are many more metrics out there too. So each of these, when you look at retail, if ever, one of you happens to become a retail manager or a store manager and goes on to become a area retail manager and then goes on to a higher level, or you become a shipping tracker, or you become a warehouse manager, or anything like that. And don't think that these are small posts. These are really big posts when it comes to really big companies. If you are employed in a really big, what do you say, retailer, and you move many years up the level to work with one of the international retailers, and there's a huge amount of exposure that you get to all these systems which are used, the different kinds of metrics they track, and it will be really great to see one of you one day work for some large scale retailer. Electronic data interchange is again for your information. What is used by grocery stores, UCS, what are the kind of standards which are used for general merchandising, basically the transmission standards, different systems, intranet, extranet. I explained this to you earlier, and these days mostly internet is used to connect with all. That's the end of this video. We'll meet again in the next video when I talk about more concepts. And like as we have followed the pattern for all the 3 chapters earlier, I'll give you something as self-read even for this chapter, something which is on similar lines what you have got in the early starters. Thank you.